We're streaming. Oh, yes. Don't kill Dave Grohl. Don't do that.
Nope.
Oh, no views. 8 minutes ago. All right. So I'm showing that we're on. And excellent. If you're joining us right now from sometime in the future, you can feel free to skip ahead about 5 minutes. It's the pre-game show right now. And we are I'm fixing all the stuff, and the missus is getting ready to have another great show. Do you think it'll be a great show tonight?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The best one ever?
Absolutely.
See, I think so too. I think it's going to be a great show. And I think Mark's going to be here. I think we're going to have fun. Got to set up all my stuff, though. Like, you have all your stuff set up. Oh, looks like we have
Mostly
someone joining us. You know.
Man, now that it's time to start the podcast, I'm hungry, and I wish I'd had some food before I started this.
Well, it's probably late for that.
It is. Is Pugs making pizza upstairs?
I don't know. The only thing... it's Tim Turner. The only thing I heard was...
Tell him to make pizza. I heard him drop something very heavy when he came in.
That was it. That's the only thing I heard.
I don't know what it was. I'm assuming it was just a car jack because he does that.
Because who doesn't need a hydraulic floor jack in the kitchen?
Right.
Apparently.
And for those listening, we have a dishwasher that we bought like a couple years ago, so it's pretty much brand new, right? And it was open because I was doing dishes, and Pugsley walked through the kitchen carrying a car jack and dropped a car jack on the open door and broke our dishwasher.
Yeah, well...
Not rendering it inoperable, but it's no longer functions like a new dishwasher should.
He bendinated it.
Yeah. What was I going to do? Oh, text Pugsley about pizza.
All right, so I'm set up there. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. I can see all 4 things I need to see. So, yay. This is scintillating conversation.
It is scintillating conversation. My story about Pugsley and the car jack was much more interesting.
Tadano Hito is currently setting up his space internet. So he has the new the Tesla internet.
Oh right, yeah.
Yep. And it is, and as I've been told, the name of the dish is Dishy McDishface.
And the podcast cat has joined me.
Podcast cat.
Mm-hmm. She's down here.
All right.
So happy to see me that she's rubbing against me, and in fact bit my hand, gave me a love nip, which she is wont to do. And she got into something sometime last week. Something got spilled on her. Did you notice that? She has a bald spot on her butt now.
And Matt Dunlop has joined us.
It's weird. You're a weird cat.
Yeah, it reminded me of something about Mary.
Yes, yes. Because her hair was sticking up in the air in that one spot. And so then I was kind of messing with it to see what it was, because, to see if I needed to do Civil War surgeon the cat. And kind of pulled on it a little bit, and just all that entire clump of hair just came out. So I was like, oh, clearly something got spilled on you, and you got a little owie there. But she seems okay.
And Mark is here, and we're just about ready for movie sign in about 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Can you not see that on the screen? It's right there. It's literally right there. Oh, I gotta fix all this stuff.
Oh,
hang on. There it is.
All right.
Hang on. I think I gotta fix the Jackass theme too. Let me find it.
And we need some massive Campbell.
I had fixed that. Okay, that's ready to go.
Okay. All right.
See,
it's time.
You've required me to put all this new stuff in, and now I'm kind of lost.
Well,
oh my God! We have a movie sign.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 102nd live edition of Bombs and Bants Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
It is excellent, sir. And the missus, who
Hello.
is nestled in the deep bunker.
I
in,
am.
In the undisclosed location, buried beneath the bowels of the earth.
It's kind of chilly down here tonight because
in.
it kind of got to be fall this past week here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, last week she was in the bowels of the earth. Now she's below the bowels of the earth.
And sinking
It's sinking.
second. Yeah.
We have some problem with it. We have some problem with the foundation of the secret underground control room. That's what happens when you kind of do it yourself. So how was your weekend, Mark?
Oh, it was fine. Nothing special. So,
Well, anything you want to share with the rest of the class. Cannibalism? Was there cannibalism?
Cannibalism? Yeah, cannibalism. No,
Massive
I did finally get
cannibalism.
to try out a new pistol that I had, so that was good.
Well, what flavor was that?
Oh, a Glock 43X.
And X means what?
It means that it has a longer grip on it, so it's like almost a full size grip, lengthwise.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's a micro compact type pistol. So I don't know what to say. I mean, it's a 9mm micro compact.
Oh, so it's not a good. So it's not a good gun. 9mm. Come on, that's a kid's toy.
Do you want to hear my G. Gordon Liddy impression again?
Yes.
Because you said 9mm. If a 9mm was a good gun, we'd have a new pope. Thank you.
That's
Thank you very much.
9mm. It's like for possums.
Well, if they made micro compacts in 45, I'd have one probably. But
All right.
something more than 5 or 6 rounds.
Well, I still remember early on in our podcast career when you were talking about a particular weapon and talking about it blowing big holes. So
Oh, I've got stuff that blows larger holes, yeah.
yeah, and yes, in fact, the missus even put up the blowing big hole meter. Yeah, I recall that. That was
The big hole counter. Yes.
the big hole counter. Now, speaking of big holes, the governor of New Mexico, Michelle Lujan Grisham, and there's a big hole, has declared a public health emergency and banned legal carry of guns in Albuquerque, Bernalillo County for 30 days. Since she's a Democrat, well, let's just go to the audio tape.
All the examples you cited are crimes. Kids shooting at other kids, shooting from cars. So what's the value of the civil order? Why not just do better law enforcement?
Both. The value of the order is that it gives me 3 things. 1, it says it's a statewide issue and it's a message to everyone to start leveraging their resources and arresting people. 2, the jurisdictions come at this, including with the DOJ restrictions, differently, without the leveraging and the additional resources, arresting, and where do they go? We got to make sure that everyone is bumping up their services. It's a message to the Metropolitan Detention Center. It's a message to the HMOs. You better figure out treatment. We have been sort of stalled out, to your point. This order basically says, stop stalling out, and to your point, just arrest everyone. Well, I also have to have the ability, I can't arrest everyone. There are literally too many people to arrest.
Did anyone follow what the hell she was talking about there?
I was just thinking, the entire time she was talking, I was thinking, a tool says what? A tool says what?
I have something for that.
I'm a tool. I'm a tool. I'm a tool, an unbelievably annoying tool.
That's
Well,
her.
I mean, I as I understood her argument, it was she wanted to be able to arrest everyone, as opposed to just the people that were causing the problem.
It's like that slipped out a little bit at the end, didn't it?
Yeah,
When they say the quiet part out loud.
Yep.
but needless to say, breaking news. Oh, I don't know if you haven't already.
Well, yeah, but breaking news, we do have an update because a federal court judge, breaking news.
Oh, right. Sorry.
That's you. Yeah.
I know. I'm moving as lickety damn split as I can.
Breaking news.
Go for it, Mark.
Oh, well, okay. I was just going to say a federal court judge just passed a temporary restraining order on the implementation of her ban. So,
well,
not
only that, the state attorney general said that. Let me see. What did he say? Her suspension of the Second Amendment is unconstitutional. His name is Raul Torres, and he said, "I'm writing to inform you that my office will not defend your administration in the above referenced cases. Though I recognize my statutory obligation as New Mexico's chief legal officer to defend state officials when they are sued in their official capacity, my duty to uphold and defend the constitutional rights of every citizen takes precedence." And then he also said that it is unwise to stretch the definition of public health emergency.
And it gets even a little bit better, and I'm really enjoying this. I did receive through I have spies all over the planet, an incredible network of spies, and I did get an advanced copy of the federal judge's ruling, and it is actually just like 15 words: face, 15 times. So so
not only did she get that from the state attorney general, from the Bernalillo County Sheriff John Allen, who also, both of these guys are Democrats, says this order will not do anything to curb gun violence other than punish law-abiding citizens from their constitutional right to self-defense. It's unconstitutional, so there's no way we can enforce that order.
It gets even better. Okay, you know who I find to be one of the most annoying humans on the planet? David Hogg. I don't know if you remember David Hogg. He's that
little turd. Yeah.
that little stick boy that came out of Florida and just put his ugly face all over TV, spouting leftist anti-gun nonsense. Well, guess what? He thought that he went too far. When you got David Hogg, dilettante Harvard wannabe, going against you, you know you've gone too far. So when you've made David Hogg,
okay, it's not that she went too far, it's that she went too far too soon. Someone said this was a test run because they got away with it with COVID, and they want to see how much they can get away with. They want to see, can we suspend people leaving their houses 60 days before an election so you can't go vote? Because it's a public health emergency.
So I'm looking at that picture of her, and she's in front of buildings, and I'm like, there aren't buildings that tall in all of New Mexico.
She was doing an interview for CNN. So she was, I don't know where she was.
Teleported?
I guess, maybe.
Maybe she has a teleport. But anyway, when we talk about people like David Hogg and the soon-to-be-forgotten governor of New Mexico, I think that, they might need a medication just when their contradictions hit them.
When you ran for mayor, did you promise your city would be a sanctuary city, only to have hundreds of thousands of illegals show up? Did you then note that they were destroying your city? Painful, right? Now's the time for Hippocratal, a new medicine from Pfizer. Hippocratal helps you forget about all the horrible contradictions in your leftist life.
I'm president of the Chicago Teachers Union, and I send my child to private schools.
Hippocratal.
I'm a former Speaker of the House who wants to ban guns, but insists on my own armed security.
Hippocratal.
I told people they should be afraid of the Rodney King riots, but then those bad people scared me on January 6th.
Hippocratal.
I fought to defund the police in Minnesota, and then was mad that they were too underfunded to stop my mugging.
Hippocratal. Try Hippocratal now in special maximum strength for billionaires and congressmen. Hippocratal.
Warning: Hippocratal should only be used under the close supervision of a friendly, compliant media. In case of accidental overdose, resign your position and claim you want to spend more time with your family.
Hippocratal.
And in fact, I heard
That's
that.
That's what Mitt Romney's doing.
But for him, we make special anal suppository. Very big, like size of baseball bats.
He's not going to run again, and his excuse is, well, I'm too old. But
Romney. We won't miss you. Oh,
don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yep, but that's where the hypocrisy goes. All right, Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito verbally knocks down, he verbally knocks Dick Durbin in the dirt. There have been calls from Senate Democrats, including Judiciary Chair Durbin, for Alito to recuse himself from the upcoming case of Moore versus U.S., the case about deemed repatriation, a one-time inclusion of accumulated foreign earnings, bringing your money back. Okay, if you had money overseas, you could bring it back, which had previously benefited from deferral. Then Alito did an interview for the Wall Street Journal with David Rivkin, who is also a lawyer. Boy, this is getting complicated.
It is very complicated.
It's like a social, it's like one of those soap operas, or maybe a social media thing. Anyway, they interviewed. So Alito did an interview for the Journal with David Rivkin.
And also in the interviewing him was James Taranto.
Yep. And the interview did not discuss Moore, and it wasn't even brought up, but the Democrats still screeched, recusar. Here is the Journal, voiced by the newsbot, to explain itself.
10 Senate Democrats, including Judiciary Chairman Dick Durbin, complained about the interview last month in a letter to Chief Justice John Roberts. They argued that by sitting for an interview with Mr. Rivkin, Justice Alito had created an appearance of impropriety. They demanded that Justice Alito recuse himself from the Moore case to prevent further damage to public confidence in the court. In his 4-page statement Friday, Justice Alito treats this claim as groundless, which it is. There is no valid reason for my recusal, he writes. When Mr. Rivkin participated in the interviews and co-authored the articles, he did so as a journalist, not an advocate. The case in which he is involved was never mentioned, nor did we discuss any issue in that case either directly or indirectly.
There you go. So you picked this particular story of the missus. So what drove that one? What was your
because it's become this push by the Democrats to completely discredit any justices that are on the Supreme Court that they deem lean conservative. They've been giving Clarence Thomas a whole lot of grief about this. Alito, I think maybe Gorsuch a little bit has been getting some heat about this too. And come on, you remember the confirmation hearings for both Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh. I mean, who could forget the one about Brett Kavanaugh, right?
Okay, so for Alito, okay, here's my deep dark secret. I just always imagine him as this Chef Boyardee guy, and I think he should be like that. I think he should always speak in an Italian accent and go, oh, "That's the one that's spicy meatball." I don't know, Mark. What do you think? Am I crazy?
No. It would definitely make the court sessions more interesting if he did speak in an Italian accent.
I think it would be awesome.
Add the big mustache and put him in a.
That's a very interesting argument.
Dress him like Mario. There you go.
It's a one spice argument. Or I could just do Guido Sarducci. Find the Pope into the pizza. I'm the only person who probably remembers Guido Sarducci. He was
no, of course not.
Don
You're
Neville.
not the only one who remembers Guido
Answer
Sarducci.
my question, or I'll have Guido come over and hit you in the knees.
That's right. This is a thing which I cannot do. And honestly, this is actually a case. I'm gonna just step aside and tell a story from my childhood. This is the first time I ever ran into political correctness. So one day I had to give a commercial and this was in 8th grade. I had to give a commercial for something. So I picked 1-800-Godfather. We solve your problems for you, And so I did the commercial, and complete, with the best Marlon Brando accent I could do in 8th grade. And so the teacher afterwards, she goes, John, I just like to know, are you Italian? And I go, well, not as far as I know. And she goes, well, you might want to think to be sensitive about those who are. And I'm going, know why. It was funny. But anyway, I'm going to stop. I'm going to just jump right off that.
Lighten up, Francis.
I've been wrestling Jimmy since 8th grade, so I'm not going to stop now. Speaking of conspiracy theories, this is going to get us kicked off.
No, it's not. This was news. This has been all over the news this weekend.
I know, but you know how YouTube is. You can't have actual news about real things. The biggest conspiracy theory.
It's the granddaddy of them all.
It's the big one. I mean, besides the Abraham Lincoln thing, but is the Kennedy assassination. Well, there's some kerosene being poured on this one right now because the Secret Service agent who was closest to Kennedy on November 22nd, 1963.
And he's the guy in the picture here who was standing right behind Kennedy running alongside the vehicle. Yep. I believe that's him.
Yep. Yeah. His name was Paul Landis, and he's now 88 years old. And he found a bullet out of the seat of the presidential limo in the back, and he put it on Kennedy's stretcher. He thinks that they missed where it was. It was he missed he thinks that it ended up in the wrong place and it became the basis for the magic bullet. And he's saying that is not what happened, that it, if anything, barely penetrated Kennedy. He thought it was kind of a very lightly charged, and so it just kind of, he won't say bounced off his back, but kind of bounced off Kennedy's back and into the seat, which means by definition there has to be a second shooter. So anyway, you have a whole video on it, so why don't you hit the play button?
Well, it's not really, it's just from Kennedy's funeral. It was just a little.
Oh, well, then we don't need to see that at all.
The sound of the muffled drum
he's still
sweeps
dead.
in melancholy waves over the hushed throng. A hush broken only by a stifled sob.
Yeah, but it was really one of the last times, until really 9/11, that America kind of came together.
Down this avenue of sadness, they bring President John F. Kennedy, martyred hero, to lie in state under the great dome of the Capitol.
And that's it. It was just a little snippet of that.
And this breaking news, John F. Kennedy, still dead.
Breaking news.
And Matt notes that conspiracy theories should be noted as spoiler alerts. That's very correct. So, Mark, where are you on this? Do you think that the official story of the magic bullet that made right-angle turns is correct, or do you think there was something a little more nefarious going
on? No, there's definitely a lot more going on than what we're told, and who's behind it. There's a lot of strange connections between some of the people involved in the mafia and the CIA, and anyway.
Yep. There are various groups. Let's see, who do we have? We have the CIA, we have the mafia, we have Israel. They're a prime contender because Kennedy wanted them to shut down the nuclear arms program.
Yes, and they were tied, and Israel's was tied to one of the Jewish mafia leaders here in the U.S. whose lieutenant was the guy who Jack Ruby worked for.
Yep, and Jack Ruby. So, let's
continue on. Well, that's the funny thing with that whole story, right? Is that there were a lot of people with motive, and that's why it's such a tangled web, right? Because God, it could have been any of them.
We should get off this story because I drive the same way to work every day. So, moving along, police in Pennsylvania keep proving how capable they are in not catching an escaped convict murderer who seems to have been seen at least once by every single person in the state in the past 2 weeks. Well, maybe he's in a Brazilian places at once. He's from Brazil. And I'm going to skip the last couple of lines here because you know what? They catched him. So
they did finally catch him today. Yeah. But,
so play that.
Yeah, here's the news bot.
The manhunt for convicted killer Danilo Cavalcante continues 12 days after his escape from Chester County Prison in Pennsylvania. The convict fled the facility days after he was sentenced to life for stabbing his ex-girlfriend Deborah Brandeo, 33, to death. He is also wanted for a 2017 murder in Brazil. The 34-year-old Cavalcante has not only eluded hundreds of U.S. Marshals, SWAT, FBI, and state and local law enforcement officers, he has also managed to sneak past the established search perimeter time and time again and is now armed.
Yeah, so when I heard this morning that they caught him on the news, I was like, he must have wandered into a donut shop or something.
Well, I got to take there's a really serious component to this underneath because, when you look at this man was just doing what we ask of all the illegal immigrant community. He was just killing Americans that Americans wouldn't kill themselves.
That's right.
So
did you hear the story about his mother on this too? About his mother stepping up and standing up for him? Say that he shouldn't have been never have been charged with the murder of that. It was like she had it coming or something like that. I mean, I just read that and I was like, see, that's a mom. She's got your back.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing.
And if you imagine her saying it in an Italian accent, it's probably funny because I don't know any Portuguese accent. So, all right, take us to the world's fastest cockatoo.
Okay, the world's fastest cockatoo. 7-year-old cockatoo has the claim to the title of the fastest parrot. I think all cockatoos are parrots, but not all parrots are cockatoos. Something like that. Anyway, parrot on wheels after breaking the Guinness. Yes.
Hey, wait.
Yes.
Two can play at that game.
Oh my God. So bad. Anyway, fastest parrot on wheels broke the Guinness World Record for riding a pint-sized scooter. Chico is the name of the cockatoo, belonging to a Bulgarian guy named Kaloyan Yavashev, rode his scooter 16.4 feet in 17.79 seconds.
That is very excellent. In Bulgaria, we teach the cockatoos very well.
That's right.
Well,
they have a lot of time.
You have
a lot of time. See, now that's a sad story.
It is sad.
Why would you do that?
Because they're both young and they're going to live out their lives together, and he will be using that bird to what is it? A cockatoo. He'll be using that cockatoo to chase women for a long time. So it's good.
I don't know if that's a thing that works really well at picking up women. I think dogs are probably better at that.
Matt notes that the cockatoo took 2 breaks and still breaks the record.
I know.
I mean, he just think if he hadn't been phoning that one in.
Cockatoos may be very smart, but they are slackers.
And perhaps they could do with a drug that helps them forget their failures.
Are you tired of gulping down the sewage fed to you by the mainstream media?
Yep.
Do you feel like you wake up in a strange, crazy world every day?
You betcha.
Do you wonder how Democrats, progressives, and other communists keep buying into the same old lies?
How did you know?
Then what you need is the brand new prescription strength, once daily, Fug-It-All from Pfizer. With Fug-It-All, you can dumb yourself down to a level that makes modern life tolerable.
The economy is fine.
I'll buy it.
The border is closed.
I'll buy it.
Democrats are defending our democracy.
I'll buy it.
With new Fug-It-All, you will rest easy, knowing you'll never have to think for yourself again.
Warning, this drug may produce side effects such as itching, nausea, muscle cramps, continuous bleeding from all of your orifices, a tendency to vote for Democrats, or even sudden death. Some of these side effects may be permanent. If you find yourself questioning if it works or thinking our government might be lying, consult a doctor because that means it's not working.
Take this stupid new world in stride with once daily Fug-It-All from Pfizer. Pfizer has been a main sponsor of our podcast tonight.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
We need more stuff from Slap Cop. I'm just telling you, Slap Cop is. And Tim Turner gives you applause on that one. So
thank you.
Because I thought you did all that one yourself entirely, start to finish. So
yes, that's all me. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, it means it's time for.
This is Neil Young.
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
And I'm proud to present my braying jackass of the week.
All right, number one, he really killed it when he was with Guns N' Roses. Take Me Down to the Sanctuary City, New York City Mayor Eric Adams discovers that talking the talk is a heck of a lot easier than walking the walk.
Started with a madman down in Texas decided he wanted to bus people up to New York City. 110,000 migrants. We have to feed, clothe, house, educate the children, wash their laundry sheets, give them everything they need, health care. We're getting no support on this national crisis, and we're receiving no support. And let me tell you something, New Yorkers. Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City.
Oh, is the sanctuary city unhappy that immigrants showed up?
I like to say, I think they voted for this. Eh? They knew that was his plan. They voted for this.
Apparently, there have been demonstrations and stuff in the street.
Huh. Well,
by New Yorkers.
I'm pretty sure that if it hasn't destroyed Corpus Christi, Texas, it's not going to destroy New York
Or Laredo. Yeah.
I say they've had their sanctuary and they should get it good and hard. Candidate number 2, our idiot-in-chief, Brandon Magoo. He's been exposed to COVID and is a staunch supporter of masks, thinks you should wear one when you shower. He, on the other hand, wears one into the Medal of Honor ceremony for Captain Larry Taylor, but takes it off so he can breathe directly into the face of the aging hero. Oh, and then he leaves right after presenting the medal.
Wearing the mask, because it's important to signal that virtue. And then we get to the ceremony. And then just breathe right into his face. You think he sniffed his hair while he was doing that? The captain probably would have turned around and decked him had that happened.
Yeah, be careful. Getting a little handsy.
Yep. Standing ovation. Stands there with his newly awarded medal. Biden just walks off the stage and leaves him there. And the guy's just left standing there like, what am I supposed to do now? So there's number 2.
Oh my.
Oh wait, I said number 2, didn't I?
Fecal matter.
Yeah, thank you, John.
All right. The commie mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, for your number 3. Tim, there's one more, who blames poor media coverage of his administration on racism instead of him being an idiot. Here's the Chicago Tribune's newsbot.
On Tuesday, he declared that questions about how fast or slow his administration was or was not moving were rooted in racial prejudice against a black mayor, and he called on his allies to call it out. As reported by the Tribune, Johnson said Tuesday, there's coverage of me being slow, right? These are microaggressions.
It's a microaggression.
So he reminds me of Ed Grimley, that character from Martin Short. I must say, these are microaggressions. I must say. Yeah, he's just. Yeah. Okay, so we have three. We have someone who should have taken some Hippocratol. We have Joe Biden, who I don't know if he just thinks he's the wind and people don't notice him. I'm invisible now. Or Brandon Johnson, who, he looks like he couldn't spell cat if you gave him the C and the T.
Well, he looks like what he is, a communist activist. And he just lucked into being elected mayor. And I don't see how after you have, what was her name, Lori Lightfoot, who was terrible, but is to the right of this guy. And this is the person they elected to replace her. Again, whatever Chicago gets, they deserve to get it good and hard.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let's see. We have an early vote in for Jim Wetzel for number 3, and see if there are any more votes coming in. I'll note that there's a large lack of hair with our candidates tonight. Biden has only that which was transplanted from his back on his head.
Well, Johnson
Adams
has
has
none.
none.
He's kind of got a little point going on there.
But it's grimly.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. And so right now, not seeing any more votes. Mark, what are your thoughts?
You know, I'm going to vote for number 2, but totally unrelated to anything you raised on it tonight. But because the White House sent out orders to the heads of various news media organizations to investigate, well, for them to chase after the Republicans that are trying to impeach him. So I'm going with 2.
You going 2? Right now, I'm seeing a consensus on the online audience, and I think we're going to have to go with number 3, Brandon Johnson. Brandon, congratulations! You're the new jackass of the week.
I wonder if that's a microaggression.
No, it's an actual aggression.
It's a full-throated aggression.
He's a tool. He's a tool. He's a
and
tool.
this has been Leo Young's Brain Jackass of the Week.
I'm a tool. I'm a tool. I'm a tool, an unbelievably annoying tool.
Yeah, and that's what we have. Yeah, he's got winter face, doesn't he?
What's that?
Winter face. I mean, just look at that. All right. Well, I think we're at the fun part of the evening. Well, it's all fun. Think real fast.
Think real fast.
Elon Musk has another kid, and name him they did, with number 12 being named Tau Techno Mechanicus Musk. Mark, do you think they just should have put a sign on the kid's back that says Wedgie goes here?
Yes.
Why you bullying me?
That's such a terrible name.
Dozen kids. The missus, if Grimes took a shower, would her new name be Squeaky?
Something tells me no.
I gotta tell you, I've never seen a picture of her that she just didn't look like she smelled of cheese and
yeah, know, and for being as brilliant as Elon clearly is, his personal life is just a mess. I mean, he and Johnny Depp could probably compare notes.
Matter.
Except guess what?
Didn't he date Amber Heard for a while?
He tamed Amber Heard.
Yes.
And in fact, here's the magic of Elon Musk. He made her dress up in cosplay costumes for him and let him take pictures. Yeah. Oh, come on. That's perfect. Okay. All right. In a story you'll never hear again, Shivantri Sathandian, who wanted to dismantle the police in Minnesota, now has some external hematoma as she was beaten and robbed. She said, and I quote, because on Facebook she wrote, "These men knew what they were doing. I have no doubt they've done this before. Yet they are still on our streets, killing mothers, giving babies psychological trauma that a lifetime of therapy cannot ease. With no hesitation and no remorse," she said on Facebook.
Are you threatening me?
Remember me when you were thinking about supporting letting juveniles and young people out of custody to roam our streets instead of holding them accountable for their actions. This is a person who wanted to dismantle the police. Mark, did she get her dismantling good and hard?
I think so. And frankly, her comments are very offensive. They're racist. Black Lives Matter. So I don't know why she's complaining.
And those children are all victims of systemic racism.
True. From people like her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
She's obviously
she's expressing her privilege.
Obviously blood privilege.
Mm-hmm.
The missus.
Yes.
The missus.
Why you bullying me?
But I gotta find it. Who exactly does she want to save her? Is it Iron Man, the Avengers, Batman, or Kyle Rittenhouse?
It's none of the above. It is Santa and the Tooth Fairy on top of a unicorn who can ride in and make crime go away through Democrat policies. And you know why it's the three of them? Because they don't freaking exist.
Now, I'm going to have to mention that our audience believes that she is Jesse Smolletting this, that she's just, fake blooding this out.
I don't know. I heard she had a broken leg from this.
Yeah,
they got clobbered pretty good. Yeah. And again, I wish I could sum up some sympathy, but no, honey, you got what you wanted. Congratulations.
And basically, she went from wanting to dismantle the police to, I want death squads.
Well,
she and Grisham agree on that. We just need to arrest everybody.
Maybe she should have been safer in India. Okay. Aliens in Mexico say it isn't so. No, really, these things look like a bad props made for a 1960s science fiction movie, but were exhibited in Mexico's Congress. Take a look.
That's not from 1960. Those are, paper mache models from E.T. that got rained on.
Mark, do you think that next they're going to exhibit a stuffed pony in Mexico's Congress and assume that horses were teeny in the past and had cotton innards?
No, I'm going to go for I'm going to go for them adopting the jackalope as their national animal.
And I didn't think it was horses that Mexicans were fond of. I thought it was donkeys. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just Tijuana. That's just Tijuana. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, jeez. All right. This. Do you think those teeny aliens could ride those stuffed donkeys?
Yes, riding them. That's what they're doing. Okay.
There you go. Okay. All right.
As they heard, as they heard their jackalope try. Yeah.
All right. We're moving along. If you want a book older than 2008, well, you're just too late. As woke librarians in Canada pulled every book before 2008 because of equity, race, and whatever is the current year's thing. They even noted that the books could not be donated because they were unsuitable for any use. Mark, is this how you get 1984?
No, that was published before 2008.
Okay, dang. Do you think the librarians...
Sorry, that was for Mark. I was just a little late getting there.
Do you think the librarians would get along well with the governor of New Mexico?
Absolutely. Absolutely, they would get along well. And also with that woman from, where was she from? Minnesota?
Minnesota, yeah. Don't you know?
Yeah. They would get along great. If only the Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy on the unicorn would ride in and bring about the fabled Democrat apocalypse, wherein humans would be perfect.
Yep.
Then we could all live happily under communism because we'd all work together and we'd all equally have nothing, except for them because they're more important than us. Did I get all of that in?
You did.
Okay.
And again, I've got to note, they did not donate the books to anybody else. They destroyed them because they were unsuitable for any other use.
So they burned the books, huh? Wait a minute. I thought only certain people burned books.
Hey,
and it was like a big social party. Yeah, it was a big social party.
Could you
did not see that coming?
You did not see that coming. Okay. could you put up the picture of Scully and Mulder? Because we didn't get to that one.
Let me find it. Well, there it is.
There we go. We can just leave that up for the rest of the cast because I think that's the rest of it.
Well, you want the other one too, though. Here, we'll take that one now because you wanted to talk about this one.
Yeah. Put them both up.
Okay. Let me do that. Oops, I keep putting that one up there and it's just not the one I want.
I think that's proof that there's no intelligent alien life. All right. Okay, so we'll just leave those up because we don't have pictures for the rest of it. Kamala won't cackle because she's raised a hackle, and lefties are starting to say that they no longer want to hear her bray. In an article for The Intelligencer, the case is made that Kamala should be spayed or neutered or whatever. I mean, okay, they don't want her to run for beep next time. Mark, what will we do for Jackass every week?
What will they do, or what will we do?
What will we do?
Oh, I'm sure that whoever's the next vice president, well, Democratic vice president, will be enough of a jackass that we won't even notice.
There you go. That's probably right. The missus?
She's such an idiot!
Yes.
My request of you is to describe Kamala's day, starting from when she gets up to when she goes to bed, and quantifying how much vodka she drinks.
I was just going to say, get up, check phone, reach under the bed, grab the square vodka bottle because that way it doesn't roll away, take a swig, brush teeth, take an Ambien, get dressed, put on some snazzy clothes, another slug of vodka, forget that you took the first Ambien, take a second one, take yet another one before you head out to the office, do an interview where you talk to people like this about the things we're doing every day. And we have to keep doing those things. And maybe I shouldn't have taken that third Ambien this morning.
Don't forget her trip to the local kindergarten to meet with her speechwriter.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is basically her life is indistinguishable from Jim Morrison's.
Yeah, I think so at this point. Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's time for more blame. This is our last think real fast. It's time for more blame as illegals remain in New York, and this was part of a Jackass, causing Biden to pop a cork. Biden White House staffers are now complaining that New York City is responsible for the illegals flooding the Big Apple because, and I quote, New York City doesn't have a plan for this. Mark?
Joe Biden.
Mark, is it ethically wrong of us to just sit back and laugh and watch this whole thing explode?
No, it's what God intended.
Inconceivable!
No, it's what's intended. I mean, I can't imagine a world where we shouldn't enjoy it. That would be hell if we couldn't enjoy it.
In a world where Democrat fights Democrat. Oh wait.
Well, you know where that ends up.
Oh, you know darn well that at some point in the near future, 10 or 20 years, the Democrats the people that are currently Democrats and liberals and other leftists are going to turn on each other and start killing each other, and we're going to be able to sit back then and sort of watch and munch on our popcorn.
So you're saying it'll be like watching Mad Max all over again?
Yeah.
Excellent. The missus, why doesn't Mr. Adams take a page from Minnesota and just defund the police in New York? I mean, it works so well in Minnesota.
I know. I wonder why that suddenly is no longer the solution to all the problems. You would think, as much as the Democrats, when something doesn't work, they pile more money on top of it most of the time. So I would think that since crime went up, that the only solution to this, because clearly we saw, during the George Floyd riots in Portland, how the problem in Portland was the presence of the police. So what we need to do is we need to completely eliminate the police in all of these jurisdictions, and surely that will solve the crime problem.
Can we put up a wall? Can we put up a wall first?
Here's the ironic part
No,
about
walls don't work.
Is that, putting these illegal aliens up in their fancy ritzy hotels is costing New York so much that they are having to cut back budgets across the board. And I think I heard it was 5% is what they're starting at, and it's impacting police as well. And then if they can't get Washington cough up money, then they'll do another round of cuts.
Nah, it's probably nothing.
It'll be fine.
A crime. Well, folks,
that's why I want to see them just keep on shifting, or I mean, shipping the migrants or refugees or whatever the word of the week is for them up there, because I do want to see New York collapse.
Well, again, that's why you have the wall, because then you can send in Snake Plissken to get the cassette tape from the president.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you.
All right, call me Snake.
Well, I don't know why New York's complaining anyway, because the Democrats have been telling us for decades that illegal aliens actually are a greater benefit to us economically than
strength.
Than the downsides. And plus there's the diversity and all that. But economically, they're a benefit. A net gain is what the Democrats have told us repeatedly. So New York will actually, they're throwing away economic growth if they try to stop the immigrants flowing into New York. And frankly,
it's probably nothing to worry about.
Sorry, Mark, I didn't mean to step on you there. I thought you
No. By their own logic, New York will become greater and more successful and more prosperous with all these illegal aliens moving in.
So let them have their sanctuary long and hard.
What a dumbass!
Yep.
That's how you blow a big hole.
Open the wrong place.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for coming and listening tonight to Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your host, and look forward to seeing you next Wednesday when we're going to have another great show with, I don't know how it'll be funnier, but it will be, because we're awesome.
Oh, that's not right.
Do you think you're supposed to jump in here, Mark?
Oh, bye.
And I'm the missus, and we will see you next week. Y'all come back now, you hear?